All right. And good day, good day, everyone. And welcome to Truly Foundation and A Course in Miracles with your host and your temporary guide, Oliver Blue. And I am so delighted that this moment has come that we get to again look into these wonderful lessons out of A Course in Miracles. And today we're going to be unpacking the God idea that's in Workbook Lesson 271. And I am overjoyed and extremely happy and fulfilled and content to be sitting right here, right now, in this moment, doing what I am doing, being what I am being, and sharing what I am sharing. And I'm happy that you are here, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recording. I'm happy you're here. And so we're going to get right into today's lesson. And remember that these lessons, these downloads that came to Helen Schuckman back in the early 70s. It was a 7-year project where she received daily downloads concerning mind training. She was a psychologist, and no wonder this beautiful expression came through her, because it focuses almost exclusively on our mind, or on the mind, the thinking mind, or the thinking thoughts. And Helen understanding, having a professional understanding of psychology and of the mind, was a perfect candidate to be able to not only hear the download, but to take the download in the way that it was given. And now we have this gift that's been given to us. The Course in Miracles was published in 1977. So it's very new offering that is available now to all humanity. And it eventually ended up in this form, a form which we could use in the form of a course. And so now we're all getting to benefit from this awesome download, this awesome course that is helping all of us to expand our awareness and our understanding, not only of ourselves, but of all humanity, and most importantly, our understanding of the truth, our understanding of our oneness with our Creator. This is huge. This has been huge in my life, and I know it is huge in your life if you truly embrace it. Not as a religion, not as a way to make yourself acceptable, no, but as a way to understand and as a way to understand the laws that govern reality. Because without an understanding of how things work, without an understanding of what things is, of what is, and if God is, without an understanding that God is and there is nothing else, and that there's only one law, and that's the law of God, or the law of love. Because it is the law of God and the law of love that have created this reality that we are all experience, this reality that we share. So we need an understanding. In other words, even the sacred writing says, in all our getting, get understanding. It says understanding is the principal thing. Without the purpose, without understanding the purpose of a thing, we ultimately will abuse the thing. And we all have been given this precious gift called life. And without an understanding of the meaning of life or the purpose of life, we will abuse it. And then finally, helping us to understand that everything, including life and everything in life, it operates in a certain way. And at the foundation of that operation, it is our thoughts. At the foundation of that operation, or the mechanism for that operation, is the mind, by which is the mechanism by which we get to experience the laws that govern reality. And so we need an understanding of the mind and the role and the function, and we need an understanding of the thoughts of life, the thoughts of God. And so this course provides us in its 365 lessons, answers, and understanding and application to the life that we share, the love that we share, the creator and the creation relationship that we share. And then now we're getting an understanding of our, not only the purpose, but our role and our function. As co-creators and co-laborers with our creator and with all creation. That we're in this closed system. It's not an open system, but we're in this closed, perfect system where everything works in harmony and in alignment so that it sustains itself. Without the alignment and the harmony, things would go in disarray, as we've seen in the world that we've made. But in the real world that we now have become and to discover, that is always present, that is always the only thing that is reality, and that is not affected by any of the made up oppositions to that reality. Therein lies our happiness. Therein lies our fulfillment and our contentment and our peace. Knowing that this life, this reality, our oneness, our true self, our identity can never be threatened. That is so important, to know that reality cannot be changed or altered. What love has done cannot be undone. So important. So that means we can have boldness and confidence. We can move confidently in life. We can look past all of the appearances, all of the illusions, all of the signs that would want to get us to doubt and to fear the stability that we stand on, the rock that we stand on, that which we can be sure of. We have learned that we stand on the only rock that there is, and that's the rock of our oneness with God. The rock of our infinite, impersonal, and self-aware reality with the Creator. And all the symbols that can help us to understand that, it's been given unto us. And God has used even what we've made to be a threat. No, well, let me say that again. Even the things that we've made to be in opposition to this reality, God takes all those things and use them for our good. How deep is the wisdom of God? How deep is love? How encompassing is the truth that is true always? So we can relax, we can rest assured that all things are indeed working together for our good. Because there's only good, there's only God in reality. And so today's lesson points us back to the word that is used in the Course and in other religious writings, and that word is Christ. Please help me here. Or let's help ourselves. Do not be put off by the terminology that's in the book, in the Course. Don't be put off by the terminology in any book. Words are twice removed from the truth. We have to use words. We have to use words to communicate on this mental level. And the words that we use are not as important as the content. For example, the container that holds this water is not as important as the water, but it has to have some container, and that's our choice to design the container. But the content is already been determined. Your body is a choice, and no two are alike. But it is not as important as what the body represents, as the content of the body. Because the content is the same. The form may be different. What is more important? Is it the picture, or is it the picture frame? When we get stuck on the frame, we can't see the picture. When we get stuck on the body, we can't see the spirit. When we get stuck in the world of perception, we don't see the world. That is present. And so even with the use of the word Christ is just symbolic of the final experience that we are experiencing, which is the same experience that is from the beginning. And that Christ just represents that what God created remains unchanged. That's what Christ means. That what the Creator created cannot be changed or altered. Who we are has never changed. It is the same as it was in the beginning, as it is in the end. And all that in between, those experiences in between, are all designed to get us to remember who we are. It's the memory of ourselves. It's the memory of God that we all desire. And we all take different paths to get to that memory. But God has guaranteed that all of us gets to that memory. It's called salvation. That is what salvation is. It is a guarantee that all of us will eventually wake up to the true acceptance and reality of our changeless self. Yes, that is the first and the last, the beginning and the ending, to come to know the self, to come to remember the self. And so Christ is the vision. Christ is the final vision. It is representative of the final work. It is representative of the finished work that we are. It is representative of the finished work that we share. And it represents that finished work is the same work that was in the beginning. Before there was any form, before there was any time, when God created all creation, before there was any time or space, before there was any form, before the foundation of the world. So Christ is symbolic of that which God created. Christ is symbolic of our oneness, and that God has reconciled all the things back into one thing, because all things are the one thing. That is what Christ symbolizes. But when we have taken that and made a religion out of it to create even more division and separation, we have no understanding. And it has caused only chaos. And we've lost our way, and we've forgotten who we are. But all that has been brought to us face to face to say, choose you this moment, this day, this reality, because there is no other. To go on a search for the other only ends up in pain and suffering. It only ends up in all types and kinds of chaos that has been recorded in the history of humanity. But for today, the idea for today is that Christ is the vision. Christ is the finality. Christ is the oneness. Christ is the reality that the Father and the Son are indeed one. That we are all indeed one. That there is no separation. That there is no alternative. That there's only the one reality. And for the purposes of this document, this course, we use the word Christ. And we're not referring to one individual. It's referring to the all-encompassing nature of love, which we are all a part of. Not as individuated, separated entities, but as one entity, one life, one blood, one breath, one reality, one love, one faith, one hope. And so that's our thought for today. So this is the vision that we use for today. This is the idea of oneness. This is the idea of Christ, the idea of oneness, the idea of beginning and end and everything in between being one thing. That's the idea that we use today. In our 24 hours today, this is our idea. This is our focus. This is our intention, to see things through the vision of Christ, through the eyes of oneness. In everything that we do, everywhere that we go, every encounter that we have today, we use Christ's vision. We don't get thrown off by the appearances of this world. We don't give our solid foundation over to an illusion. Doesn't matter what's happening outside of us. Doesn't matter what people may be saying or how they may be acting or what may be reported. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is Christ's vision. We see the end, not only from the beginning, but in the middle and in every moment. We see and we know that only the purposes of God has prevailed. And then they have prevailed now. And they become a prevailing reality in your life right now as you accept this for yourself. Yes. And because there's only one of us, when you accept it for yourself, you have accepted it for all humanity. That's how powerful you are. And so each day, and each hour of each day, in every instant of each day, we choose. I am choosing. Remember what I am is. I am also represent that which God created. I am also represent Christ's vision. So it says each day, each hour, each instant of the day, I am choosing what I want to look upon. It's a choice. This is the freedom that we have, the freedom to choose. In between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space, it lies our freedom to choose. No one can take that away from you. They can lock you in the deepest dungeon, the deepest jail. You could put isolated in the farthest place. Your circumstances could look and be and feel so, out of line and out of order. Your physical circumstances could be that of a dire strait. But ultimately, your power to choose can never be taken away from you, even in those situations and circumstances or conditions. So it doesn't matter the external condition. The only thing that mattered is your power to choose Christ's vision in every day, in every hour, and in every instant. Choosing what you would look upon, what you would see, not using your eyes to see, but using that vision. Seeing the ultimate, seeing past every appearance of this world and seeing the face of Christ, seeing the reality of our eternal self, seeing the reality of our changeless self. Seeing the reality of our fulfilled and content self. So we choose what to look upon. We also choose the sounds that we want to hear. And not with our ears, but using our intuition. We can hear the sounds of heaven. We can hear the sounds of oneness. We can hear the sound of joy and peace and happiness and contentment. We can hear the sound of remembering the pureness of our heart, the innocence, the sinlessness, the guiltlessness. That is our reality. And we can also choose the witnesses to what we want to be in truth for us. We can choose. We can accept or reject ideas. We can accept and reject thoughts. And we choose to accept or reject ideas or thoughts based on the truth. And so we're choosing the witnesses that witness to us what the truth is of our oneness, of our true identification. The sacred scripture says there is a great cloud of witnesses all around us. When we begin to see with Christ's vision everything around us become a witness to our oneness. Everything around us become a witness to our reality. Everything around us becomes a witness to the love that we share. Every single solitary thing. Because what we're seeing now with Christ's vision, we're seeing through the eyes of oneness. We're seeing through the eyes of truth. And they're reflecting back to us the witness of goodness, the witness of happiness, the witness of fulfillment. Because we're no longer relying on the body's eyes or the body's ears, but our reliance is only on the truth, is only on the laws of love and the law of life. And like the writings in sacred scripture says, we look not on the things that are seen with the natural eye, but we look on the things that are not seen. How can you look on the things that are not seen? You can only look on the things that are not seen through Christ's vision. That's the only way. The only way to see reality is through Christ's vision. You cannot use your natural eyes. You cannot use your natural hearing to hear the sounds of heaven, to see the glorious oneness that we share. It takes Christ's vision. It takes the oneness of what Christ represents. That term represents. Remember, it's only a word. It's only a term. The truth is not in the word. The truth is in the reality that the word represents. Your body, your incarnation is not the truth. But what is the truth is what the idea that you represent. When Jesus was on the earth in a bodysuit, and he was called Jesus of Nazareth, that bodysuit was not the truth. The truth was what he represented and what he demonstrated and what he taught. Your life is demonstrating and teaching something. What are you teaching? What are you demonstrating? Is it the vision of Christ, or is it the illusion of this world? Is it the thought system, the ego thought system of this world? Choose you this day. Like you said, we choose what we look upon and what we hear, and the witnesses that is to be the truth for us. We exercise that freedom not only every day, but in every hour and in every instant. We're always doing that. You're always doing that. Are you consciously aware that in every moment you are choosing? You're either accepting or rejecting thoughts in every moment. You're either accepting or rejecting ideas in every moment. They're always arising in your place, in your presence. Always. They're not your thoughts. They're not your ideas. Unless they're the thoughts and ideas of God. And so today, we choose to look upon what Christ would have us see. What would Christ have us see? What would Christ have us listen to? What voice would we listen to today? And what witnesses would we seek to what is true in God's creation? What is the truth about God's creation? Are you really something else? Or do you remain as God created you? As whole and complete and sinless and guiltless? Are you the holy home of God? Are you the innocent creation of God? Yes, you are. All of us are. But what are we choosing to experience? It says, in Christ's sight, the world and God's creation meet. So this is the vision of Christ. Our Father, which art in heaven, holy is thy name. Whole and complete is thy name. Your kingdom has come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so that's what it's saying here, that how it is on earth and how it is in heaven, it has it meets. It has come to a meeting, an intersection. The world and God's creation meet. There has been a meeting. There has been a meeting. The perceptual world has been brought to the truth. The perceptual world has been brought face to face with the kingdom, with heaven, with reality. Unreality has been brought face to face with reality. The illusion has been brought to the truth. Your body self has been brought to your infinite self. There is a meeting. And so it says, the world and God's creation meet. And as they come together, all perception disappear. So when the perceptual world comes face to face with the world of reality, it says the perceptual world disappears. When you walk into a room, and when darkness meet light, when you turn the light on and darkness meet light, what happens? Who disappears? The darkness disappears. The light doesn't disappear. And what we have been doing in these workbook lessons, the whole purpose, the whole vision, the whole goal of this lesson is for us to engage ourselves in the practice of forgiveness, to engage ourselves in the practice of transformation, in the renewing of our mind. For what purpose? So that which is unreal, that which is not true, that which has held us, that which we have covered up, can come face to face with the truth, so that that which is not the truth can disappear. The truth will always consume the error or the mistake. The light will always consume the darkness. The purposes of God will always prevail over the idea of man. And ultimately, this world, as we have seen the recordings of this world, as we have seen the history of man groping in the dark for God, as we've seen the entire history of humanity trying to find its place in God and making a mess out of it, that has come face to face with reality. And in this instant, in this day, and in this moment, all of that history is disappearing into the light, because it wasn't true. It wasn't a reality. It was just an experience. It was just a prodigal experience. But the prodigal has been brought home. And you are the witness of that. You have become the evidence and the substance of that. Your life, when you wake up to the truth, when you recognize, when you become enlightened to the oneness that we share, all the fear, all the sin consciousness, all the guilt, it disappears into the light that you are. This is what this is all about. This is Christ's vision. It is all about your awakening. It is all about your enlightenment. It is all about you finally no longer being afraid of death, being afraid of not existing, being afraid of your true identity. This is what this is all about. This is what it's always been all about. It's always been all about you. All of life has always been all about you, because you are the life. You are the way, and you are the truth. Because you are one with the way, the truth, and the life. And so creation and the world meets. And they come together, and the perceptual world disappear. All the devastations, it disappear. All the sickness and disease, it disappear. All the lack, all the idea of individuation, all the war and the fighting, it disappears. All of the foolishness, it disappears. All of your anxiety, all your anguish, it disappears. All of your misfunction and dysfunction, it disappears. And as your mind is healed with this reality, it will affect your body. Your body will become a serviceable, holy, serviceable instrument, healthy and whole and complete. Everything around you begin to come alive, because you are the source of all things. All your relationships begin to heal. As you hold this reality, you hold it for everyone until everyone is able to hold it for themselves. This is our function now. His kindly sight, the sight of Christ, redeems the world from death. For nothing that he looks on but must live. Nothing that you look on but must live. So now we stand up boldly in this day of judgment, and we speak life to everything. We speak life to everything around us. We demand it and command it to come alive. Why? Because we are the source of life. Because there is nothing but life. All of the blocks to the awareness of this life, all of the blocks to the awareness of this love's presence, all of the blocks to the awareness of your true identity as love has been removed. And now we speak life, and life only, love only. We teach only love. We demonstrate only love. We look for only the witnesses of love. And we have become a witness ourselves that God is our only reality. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Glory to the highest, and peace on earth and goodwill to all of us. All of us. That's what God has gifted us with. That's what God has created us as. So his kindly sight redeems the world from death. For nothing that he looks on but must live, remembering the Father and the Son. The Father and his creation. The Creator and the creation unified. That is Christ's vision. The unification of all things. The reconciliation of all things. And it has been done. It is finished. It's complete. It's whole. That is the vision. And this is the vision that we hold today and in every hour, in every instant. And we choose this to look upon. We choose this to hear. And we choose this to bear the witnesses of this truth. So, Father, this Christ vision, this reality, this love vision is the way to our unification. It's the way to our redemption. It is the way to our glorification. It is the way to remember that all things remain as they are. That nothing has changed from the very beginning. What Christ beholds what Christ's vision brings to us. It says it invites our Father's memory to be restored to us. This is the ultimate purpose for everything. The restoration of you knowing who you are. The restoring and the renewing and the remembering that from the beginning remains. And this we choose today, in every hour, in every minute, in every instant, to be what we would look upon and nothing else, because we exercise our freedom to choose. And we choose reality only. We choose love only. We choose our sinlessness and our guiltlessness and our innocence only. And all the rest will disappear into the nothingness from which it came. Now, who can bring a charge to God's elect? Where are the witnesses? Like Jesus said, when they picked up the stones to stone the woman. And they all left. And Jesus says, who can bring a charge to this lady now? They represented all the falsity. They represented the illusions. They represented the lie. They represented change. They represented love being altered. That was only symbolic of that. They were on the wrong side. They were misaligned with reality. But one by one, they walked away. They dropped their stones and walked away. So right in the midst of where you are right now and where I am right now, as we embrace Christ's vision for our use today, everything, every appearance, every misunderstanding, every perceived enemy, everything that is contrary and opposite and is in opposition to reality, it drops its stone and disappears. So where is the fear? Where is the sickness? Where is the disease? Where is the lack? Where is the judgment? It disappeared. Why? Because it doesn't exist. Only love exists. And you are that love. Don't you ever forget it. Again, I'm here to remind you today that Christ's vision is the same as it was the day God created you before the foundation of the world. Who you are, you remain as God created you. And so let's relax into that and go out in our day to day and be the witness of that. So others can come to your fruitfulness and eat of the fruit of life that you share. Thank you so much. That is Workbook Lesson 271. And how sweet it is to be loved by loved. I am going to have to break there, and we'll see you on tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.